When wealth begins to feed itself. There's a moment in every wealthy person's journey that they rarely talk about. A tipping point where everything changes. Before this moment, they're working hard, pushing, trying to make things happen. Money comes in, but it's effortful. Linear. $1 of effort equals $1 of result. Then something shifts. Suddenly money starts showing up from multiple directions. Opportunities compound. One success leads to 3 more. It's like they've crossed an invisible threshold where wealth stops being something they have to chase and becomes something that chases them. This is the quantum wealth feedback loop, and once you understand how to activate it, your entire financial reality transforms from linear growth to exponential multiplication. Let me explain what a feedback loop is and why it's the secret to accelerating wealth. A feedback loop is a self-reinforcing cycle where the output becomes the input, creating exponential rather than linear growth. In nature, you see this everywhere. A small spark creates a fire, which creates heat, which creates more fire, which creates more heat. It compounds on itself. Wealth works the same way when you're in alignment. One aligned action creates a result, which creates confidence, which creates more aligned action, which creates bigger results. It feeds itself. But here's what most people don't understand. There are 2 types of feedback loops. Negative feedback loops that spiral downward, and positive feedback loops that spiral upward. Most people are stuck in negative wealth feedback loops without even realizing it. They struggle with money, which creates stress, which clouds their judgment, which leads to poor decisions, which creates more struggle. It's a cycle that perpetuates itself, getting stronger the longer it runs. The quantum wealth feedback loop is a positive feedback loop that spirals upward. Once activated, it creates what I call abundance momentum, a self-perpetuating force that carries you toward greater and greater wealth with less and less effort. But you can't activate this loop through force or hustle. You activate it through alignment. And once it's activated, the game completely changes. You shift from addition to multiplication. From linear to exponential. From working for money to money working for you. Think about someone who's truly wealthy. Not just someone who made money once, but someone who sustains and multiplies wealth over time. They're not working harder than you. In fact, they're often working less. But they're in the feedback loop. Every action they take creates multiple returns. Every investment multiplies. Every connection leads to more connections. Every opportunity opens 3 more doors. This isn't luck. This is what happens when you're operating within a positive wealth feedback loop. The reason most people never experience this is that they're trying to create wealth from outside the loop. They're taking isolated actions that don't compound on each other. They make money, but it doesn't lead to more money. They create success, but it doesn't open new doors. There's no momentum, no multiplication, no self-reinforcing cycle. They're stuck in linear mode, trading time for money, effort for results, with no exponential component. Here's the quantum principle at work. When you align with the frequency of abundance, the quantum field responds by organizing resources, opportunities, and synchronicities that support that frequency. But it doesn't just deliver one thing. It delivers that thing, which leads to another thing, which leads to 3 more things. The field creates self-reinforcing patterns that match your frequency. This is the feedback loop at the quantum level. Your alignment creates results that reinforce your alignment, which creates bigger results, which deepens your alignment. But there's a threshold you have to cross to activate this loop. Below the threshold, you're still operating linearly. You might be aligned sometimes, you might create some results, but you haven't reached the tipping point where the momentum becomes self-sustaining. Above the threshold, you're in the loop. Things start to flow. Multiplication happens. The effort-to-result ratio shifts dramatically in your favor. Understanding how to reach and maintain this threshold is the key to quantum wealth growth. The anatomy of abundance momentum. Let's break down exactly how abundance momentum works and why it's so powerful once it gets going. Momentum, in physics, is mass times velocity. The more mass something has and the faster it's moving, the harder it is to stop. The same principle applies to wealth. When you have abundance momentum, you have both substance, real results, real money, real opportunities, and speed, things happening quickly, compounding rapidly. And once you have both, it becomes increasingly difficult for anything to stop your wealth growth. Abundance momentum begins with what I call the initiating action, an aligned choice or action that's in harmony with your highest frequency. This could be investing in yourself even when it feels scary, charging what you're truly worth, saying yes to an opportunity that expands you, starting that business, making that bold move. The initiating action doesn't have to be huge, but it has to be genuinely aligned, meaning it stretches you beyond your comfort zone and into your growth zone. When you take an initiating action from true alignment, the quantum field responds. You get a result. Maybe it's a new client. Maybe it's a financial return. Maybe it's an unexpected opportunity. This result is crucial because it serves as evidence to your nervous system that alignment works, that you can trust yourself, that expansion is safe. This evidence creates confidence, which is the second element in the feedback loop. Confidence from evidence is completely different from confidence from affirmations or positive thinking. It's rooted in reality, in actual experience. Your nervous system has proof that aligned action leads to positive results. This confidence then enables you to take bigger aligned actions, actions you wouldn't have taken before because you didn't believe they would work. So you take another aligned action, slightly bigger than the first. And the field responds with a bigger result. Now you have two pieces of evidence instead of one. Your confidence grows exponentially, not linearly. And with greater confidence, you take even bigger aligned actions. You charge more. You play bigger. You invest more. You show up more powerfully. And the results compound. This is the feedback loop gaining momentum. Each cycle reinforces the next cycle, creating a spiral of upward growth. But here's where it gets really interesting. As the momentum builds, your frequency stabilizes at a higher level. You're no longer fluctuating between scarcity and abundance consciousness. You're consistently vibrating at the abundance frequency because you have continuous evidence that abundance is real and available to you. This stable high frequency is like a powerful magnet that attracts even more opportunities, resources, and wealth. The feedback loop also creates what I call opportunity multiplication. When you're outside the loop, opportunities are scarce. You have to work hard to find them. But when you're inside the loop, opportunities multiply. One opportunity leads to 3 more. One connection introduces you to 5 others. One success makes you visible to dozens of potential clients or partners. It's not that you're getting lucky. It's that your frequency and momentum are attracting opportunities at an exponential rate. Another element of abundance momentum is decision quality. When you're in the loop, you make better decisions. Your judgment is clear because you're not operating from desperation or scarcity. You can see opportunities more clearly. You can assess risk more accurately. You know when to say yes and when to say no. These better decisions lead to better results, which feeds back into the loop, creating even more momentum. There's also an identity shift that happens within the feedback loop. With each cycle of aligned action and positive result, you're proving to yourself that you're the kind of person who creates wealth. Your identity upgrades from someone trying to become wealthy to someone who is wealthy and creating more wealth. This identity shift is crucial because your identity determines what actions feel natural, what opportunities you notice, and what results you allow yourself to receive. The beauty of abundance momentum is that it becomes self-sustaining. Once you've built enough momentum, it takes minimal effort to maintain it. You're no longer pushing uphill. You're riding a wave that carries you forward. This is when wealth starts to feel effortless, when opportunities come to you rather than you chasing them, when money multiplies with less direct effort from you. Why most people never enter the loop. Despite the power of the wealth feedback loop, most people never activate it. They spend their entire lives operating linearly, working hard but never experiencing the exponential multiplication that comes from being in the loop. Understanding why this happens is crucial because it helps you avoid the traps that keep people stuck outside the momentum cycle. The first reason is inconsistent alignment. To activate the feedback loop, you need sustained alignment, not occasional alignment. Most people are aligned sometimes, when they feel good, when things are going well, when they're motivated. But the moment something goes wrong or fear arises, they drop out of alignment. They contract back into scarcity. They make decisions from fear. This inconsistency prevents momentum from building because momentum requires sustained forward motion in the same direction. Think of it like pushing a car. If you push steadily in one direction, the car starts to roll, gains momentum, and eventually rolls on its own. But if you push forward, then push backward, then push forward again, the car never builds momentum. It just rocks back and forth. This is what most people do with wealth. They take aligned action, then doubt-based action, then aligned action again. No momentum can build because they keep reversing their own progress. The second reason is premature celebration or devastation. When someone outside the loop gets a win, they often celebrate as if they've arrived, and then unconsciously relax their effort and alignment. Or when they experience a setback, they catastrophize and abandon their aligned path entirely. Both reactions break the momentum. People in the feedback loop understand that each win is simply fuel for the next cycle, and each setback is just feedback, not failure. They maintain consistent alignment regardless of individual results. The third reason is what I call the trust deficit. The feedback loop requires you to trust the process before you have complete evidence. The first few cycles feel risky because you're investing energy, time, or money into aligned actions without guarantee of return. Most people aren't willing to stay in this uncomfortable space long enough for the momentum to build. They take one or two aligned actions, and if they don't see immediate results, they conclude it's not working and revert to old patterns. But here's the truth. Activating the feedback loop requires initial investment without immediate return. You're building the first rotation of the wheel. Once the wheel is turning, it gets easier. But you have to commit to turning it even when it feels heavy and you can't yet see the momentum building. Most people give up in this crucial initiation phase, right before the momentum would have kicked in. The fourth reason is the waiting game. Many people are waiting to enter the feedback loop. They're waiting until they have more money, more time, more resources, more knowledge. But you can't wait your way into the loop. You have to act your way into it. The loop is activated through aligned action, not through preparation or planning. You have to be willing to start where you are, with what you have, and trust that the momentum will build as you go. Another major block is attachment to how wealth should appear. People have very specific ideas about how their abundance should manifest, through their business, through a specific opportunity, through a particular path. But the quantum field often delivers abundance through unexpected channels. If you're rigidly attached to a specific how, you'll miss the actual opportunities the field is presenting. The feedback loop requires openness to receiving from any direction. Fear of visibility is another momentum killer. As you start to succeed and build momentum, you become more visible. More people notice you. This triggers fear in many people. Fear of judgment, fear of criticism, fear of outgrowing their community. So they unconsciously sabotage their momentum to stay small and safe. They're more comfortable struggling in obscurity than succeeding in visibility. The feedback loop requires you to embrace increasing visibility as a natural part of expansion. Finally, there's the pattern of self-sabotage right at the threshold. Many people get right to the edge of activating the feedback loop. They've built some momentum, they're seeing results, they're on the verge of breaking through, and then they sabotage themselves. They create drama, make a bad decision, pull back, or do something that destroys the momentum they've built. This often happens unconsciously when their nervous system can't handle the speed of growth, or when crossing the threshold means becoming someone they're not sure they're ready to be. Activating your wealth feedback loop. Now let's talk about how to actually activate the quantum wealth feedback loop in your life. The first step is achieving what I call frequency lock. Stabilizing your vibration at the abundance frequency long enough for the field to respond with substantial results. This means you can't just be aligned for a day or a week. You need sustained alignment, which requires daily practices that keep you in the abundance frequency. Start each day by consciously tuning into abundance. Before you do anything else, before you check your phone or look at your bank account, spend 5 minutes generating the feeling of abundance in your body. Not thinking about it, feeling it. What does it feel like to be abundant? Expansive, light, trusting, grateful. Cultivate that feeling. Let it fill your body. This daily practice trains your nervous system to default to abundance frequency rather than scarcity frequency. The second step is taking consistent, aligned action. Every day, take at least one action that's aligned with the wealthy version of you. This doesn't have to be a huge action. It could be pricing your services at your true worth. It could be having a conversation you've been avoiding. It could be investing in learning or support. The key is consistency. Daily aligned action, even small, builds momentum faster than occasional big actions. The third step is evidence collection. Most people focus on what's not working, what's missing, what hasn't happened yet. This keeps them in scarcity frequency and prevents momentum from building. Instead, deliberately look for evidence of what is working. Did you receive unexpected money? Write it down. Did an opportunity appear? Acknowledge it. Did someone compliment your work? Recognize it. You're training your brain to notice abundance, which reinforces your abundance frequency and attracts more abundance. The fourth step is rapid reinvestment. When money comes in, when opportunities appear, when success shows up, don't just pocket it and relax. Reinvest it back into your growth. This doesn't mean spending recklessly. It means consciously directing the energy of your wins back into aligned actions that will create more wins. This is how you accelerate the feedback loop. Each result becomes fuel for bigger results. Here's a crucial practice: celebrate and expand. When you get a win, pause and genuinely celebrate it. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the excitement. This sends a signal to your nervous system that success is safe and desirable. Then, immediately ask yourself, how can I expand from here? What's the next level? What aligned action can I take from this place of success? You're using the momentum of one win to launch into the next opportunity. Another powerful technique is quantum leaping within the loop. Once you have some momentum, you can consciously choose bigger aligned actions that would have felt impossible before. Maybe you've been building momentum charging $100 for your service. Now that you have evidence and confidence, you leap to $500. This leap, made from within the feedback loop, accelerates your momentum exponentially because you're leveraging the confidence and frequency you've built. You also need to protect your momentum fiercely. This means saying no to anything that pulls you out of alignment, even if it seems like a good opportunity. It means setting boundaries with people who drain your energy. It means being selective about what content you consume, what conversations you engage in, what energy you allow into your field. Momentum is precious. Once you have it, guard it. Practice gratitude from overflow, not lack. Most gratitude practices focus on being grateful for what little you have, which reinforces scarcity. Instead, practice gratitude from the assumption of abundance. Be grateful for the wealth that's flowing to you, for the opportunities that keep appearing, for the momentum that's building. This type of gratitude reinforces the feedback loop rather than undermining it. Finally, trust the acceleration. As the feedback loop activates and momentum builds, things start happening faster. More opportunities appear. Money comes from multiple sources. Growth accelerates. This can actually be uncomfortable because your nervous system isn't used to this pace. Many people unconsciously slow down or create obstacles because the acceleration feels unsafe. Trust it. Let it happen. Your capacity to handle speed will grow as you practice staying aligned at higher velocities. Living in exponential wealth growth. Once you've activated the wealth feedback loop and built substantial momentum, you enter a completely different paradigm of wealth creation. This is what I call living in exponential wealth growth. a state where your wealth multiplies itself with decreasing effort from you. This is the ultimate goal, and it's available to anyone willing to do the work of getting into and staying in the loop. In exponential growth, the rules change completely. You're no longer trading time for money in any direct sense. Your income becomes decoupled from your hours. You might work fewer hours but earn exponentially more because you're leveraging momentum, compounding, and the self-reinforcing nature of the feedback loop. This isn't about working less to be lazy, it's about working differently, more strategically, more aligned. You'll notice that opportunities start coming to you rather than you seeking them. People reach out to you with proposals, partnerships, and possibilities. Resources appear right when you need them. This is the quantum field responding to your stable high frequency and your momentum. The universe knows you're in the loop and it knows how to feed that loop. Your job is simply to stay aligned and keep the momentum going. Another shift is in how you relate to money. When you're outside the loop, money feels scarce, precious, something to clutch and protect. When you're inside the loop, money feels abundant, flowing, something to circulate and leverage. You're not afraid to invest because you trust the feedback loop will return your investment multiplied. This trust actually accelerates the loop because you're removing resistance and allowing abundance to flow through you rather than to you. You also develop what I call quantum timing, an intuitive sense of when to move and when to wait, when to invest and when to conserve, when to say yes and when to say no. This isn't guesswork. It's genuine intuition that comes from being deeply aligned with your highest path and tuned into the feedback loop. Your decisions become almost effortless because you're flowing with momentum rather than forcing against resistance. Living in exponential growth also means your impact multiplies. As your wealth grows, so does your capacity to serve, to give, to create change. The feedback loop isn't just about personal abundance. It's about becoming a channel for abundance to flow through you and out into the world. The more you receive, the more you can give. The more you give from this place of overflow, the more the loop reinforces itself because giving from abundance strengthens your abundance frequency. One of the most profound aspects of living in the feedback loop is the sense of trust and ease that permeates your life. You're not anxious about money because you've seen, repeatedly, that the loop works. You've built deep trust in your ability to create wealth, in the universe's ability to support you, in the momentum that carries you forward. This trust isn't blind faith, it's earned confidence based on evidence and experience. You'll also find that your relationship with challenges transforms. When you're outside the loop, challenges feel like proof that you're failing, that wealth isn't meant for you. When you're inside the loop, challenges are just feedback, just recalibrations, just opportunities to refine your alignment. They don't stop your momentum because you understand they're part of the journey, not evidence that the journey isn't working. Perhaps most importantly, you discover that wealth is not the destination. It's the natural byproduct of living in alignment and staying in the feedback loop. You're not chasing wealth anymore. You're living aligned, taking consistent action, building momentum, and wealth is simply what shows up as a result. This shift from chasing to allowing is the ultimate freedom. So here's your path forward. Start today. Choose one aligned action you can take right now. Not tomorrow. Now. Begin building your momentum. Then tomorrow, take another aligned action. And the next day, another. Collect evidence of what's working. Celebrate your wins. Reinvest your results. Protect your alignment. Stay in the loop. Because once you activate the quantum wealth feedback loop, once you build real abundance momentum, your entire financial reality transforms from something you have to force into something that flows naturally, exponentially, abundantly. The loop is waiting for you. Step into it. Stay in it. And watch your wealth multiply itself.